Okay, I'm gonna be making a rant video. And this rant's pretty much just. I don't really know what it's about. I guess it's pretty much just about. It's about the Warp Tour. And the extreme lack of just how bad the Warp Tour has been. And this year, the lineup, I've. Just like for past years, it has not been very good, and it's still not very good this year. There are only three bands I'm actually somewhat interested in. And that's Real Big Fish, Goldfinger, and Bowling for Soup. And the only one that's gonna, and the only band I think that's there for the entire Warp Tour is Real Big Fish. And and it just really makes me mad on what the Warp Tour used to be and what it is now. That's for bands like that's for bands like NoFX and Green Day and all sorts of these other Blink-182 and all sorts of these other pop punk bands. Really, that's where they started. That's just they played there and it was like anyone can go see it and it was great and anyone waited for the Warp Tour and it's all these great good punk bands, pop punk bands, new bands, upcoming bands that are coming out, and now it's all Screamo bands like Pierce the Veil and Black Veil Brides and other bullshit like that. And it's just annoying because I don't want to see Black Veil Brides. I want to see Green Day. I don't want to see Pierce the Veil. I want to see Less Than Jake, or I don't want to see, I want to see good bands that I actually like. I don't want nothing. And last year, I had there's this good band from Indiana. It's this pop punk band called Crash 21, and they almost won a competition, a chance to play at the Warped Tour. And they probably would have been one of the few good bands there. I mean, of course, they wouldn't have like headlined or anything, but it's bands like that that need to be in there. Up and coming pop hardcore punk bands that really that helped start that helped make the Warped Tour what it is now back in the mid-90s. And the fact that there's that none of those, that only like some of those bands are there, and those bands that are there right now are just complete nobody bands now, like Goldfinger and Real Big Fish and Bowling for Soup. They're dead, pretty much. They're basically silhouettes of what used to be great punk bands are just gone. And it's so, and see, these headlining bands are either really bad or just no one cares about them anymore, and have like no fans left except for like the hardcore fans like me. But it's like they're trying to cash in on money, which they already have. It's the Vans Warped Tour, and Vans is already a huge fucking company selling fucking tons of shoes and clothes and everything. They're selling everything, and they want more money by exploiting the shittiest bands that are the hottest thing right now. And it's not all just like the company's fault, or it's not even the band's faults. Some of the band's faults, the ones that agreed to do this stupid fucking tour. But it's more of the people who buy the records and listen to these bands, like, and a large majority of the Screamo band followers, which makes up the majority of the Warped Tour, are teenage girls. It's like the hair metal thing is coming back, but instead of being like awesome kick ass music, it's shit. It's utter total vomit of music. And another thing that really I don't like about the Warped Tour is how they include a lot of pop music, like one of the headliners that's been headlining this tour since I'm not sure, I think like 2007. That's 303, and they're nowhere near as bad as they're not really like a bad pop band. I mean, I actually can usually get into the other stuff because it's catchy but it's the Warped Tour. bands like Blink-182 and, like I said, have done so much to make the Warped Tour what it is, and they're not even on the bill anymore. And I mean, most of these bands that are on there are releasing albums or something, but still, the fact that there's so many good bands that need this more exposure. Like NoFX, they just released Self-Entitled back in September, and they should at least be on the Warped Tour. They've been on the Warped Tour so many times. They're Warped Tour veterans, just like with Blink-182 or Green Day, and nowhere to be found. And I think, but that's really a good decision on NoFX's part, because a band like that wouldn't fit well on the bill, just for the fact that most people that are watching at the Warped Tour that check out these shows are teenage girls. I personally don't plan on attending the Warped Tour myself, but I do want to. In fact, but if I can, I just at least want to see Real Big Fish, Goldfinger, or Going Pursuit. But and then actually, and the Wonder Years aren't too bad either. But there's not really any other bands that I think really need to be on that. But there's nothing else in that entire lineup that I want to see. Another good one is there's so many good bands on, like Fat Wreck and Epitaph. Good punk bands that need to be on there. Actually, I think Teenage Bottle Rocket just finished a tour, like not too long ago. But still, I don't think they've been at a Warped Tour yet, and that'd be something great for them, because they're a great band. Like I said, I don't know. It's just this rant is it's angered me, because I hate the Warped Tour now. Something that used to be so awesome and so great is been ruined by bands like Pierce the Veil and other stuff, and just all Screamo bands and their followers. They don't fit in the Warped Tour. The Warped Tour is not for Screamo bands, nor is it for death metal bands, nor is it for pop bands. It's for punk rock bands, pop punk bands, punk rock bands, hardcore punk bands. It's about the music, not about the money. It's not about the girls getting their panties ripped over you. It's about the music. It's about the rock and roll. And no one seems to understand that anymore. The teenage girls don't understand that. They don't understand that it's about the music, not the looks, and they always claim that they do, but it's whatever. I'm just tired. The Warped Tour should either get a better and less piece of shit bull lineup, or just quit, or get rid of the Warped Tour altogether. Because I don't think anyone wants more of this freaking poppy bullshit that we get on a daily basis. I'm tired of it. And every year it's all the same. Not even Paramore's getting a bill, and they're in a band I'm not a huge fan of, but I actually like a few of their songs, and I can actually get into them, because they're not that bad of a band. They're actually a fairly decent band for one of the mainstream alternative pop bands. Even My Chemical Romance should even get a spot, and I don't like them nowhere near as much as I used to back when I was like 12. It's just full. It's gonna be like this until the friggin' Screamo trend dies, and doesn't really be coming to an anytime soon. So fuck you, all these Screamo bands. Fuck the Warped Tour. Fucking bring back the punk rock and the Warped Tour. No more of that stupid bullshit. Bye.